Ariel Helwani at Heroes Jiu-Jitsu in downtown San Jose alongside Javier Mendez of the American Kickboxing Academy. And Javier, thank you very much for the time. Just a couple of days away from UFC 139 in your backyard, so I'm sure you're happy to not be flying. But I want to talk to you first about last weekend in Anaheim. Obviously, Cain Velasquez suffered a tough loss to Junior Dos Santos. In your opinion, what went wrong?
Well, we didn't follow the game plan. Cain didn't go according to the game plan, and Junior did. He followed his game plan, and I felt Junior executed, what they needed to do, and I think he won the only way he was possible for him to win. So kudos to them. Congratulations to Junior and his camp.
What was the game plan?
Well, we were supposed to take him down on the outside. We were supposed to be in the outside and kick up to the top. And then on the inside, we were going to mix up the hands, but look for the takedowns. Not really one time did Cain was able to do it, and a lot has to be attributed to Junior was able to have good defense.
The fight lasted only 64 seconds, so is it even fair to criticize Cain and say that he didn't stick to the game plan because it almost like he didn't have enough time? He shot for that one single leg. Dos Santos stuffed it quickly, but maybe was he just trying to feel him out?
No, it isn't really fair because it's only 1 minute into it, and the rust, that we all knew that I've always said it is going to be there, but he was still good enough to win this fight. So it is probably not fair, but the bottom line is that from the get-go, he didn't feel comfortable doing what he needed to do, and Junior he got settled. Junior settled right about in the 45-second mark. I saw him settle, and I go, uh-oh, that was a bad move on us.
There was a lot of talk about some injuries he was dealing with going into the fight. How hurt was he?
It's like anybody, Junior was injured, Cain was, everybody's injured, we're not going to go there. It's like, hey, we fought, we were ready to fight. Cain was mentally and physically ready to fight. So that's all it is there.
Obviously, there was a lot of pressure on him. In Anaheim, he's such a fan favorite, but the Fox event, his first title defense, was he feeling that pressure going into the fight?
No, he was very relaxed, actually more so than normal. So I don't know if maybe that was a sign that maybe he was a little bit more on the pressure side. I'm not sure, but he was more relaxed this one than any other fight I've ever had him for. So, I mean, I would say no, but maybe him being more relaxed was maybe a bad sign.
How are his spirits now, just a few days after the loss?
His spirits were right off the bat, right after he lost. I went up to him, I talked to him, and I said, hey, keep your head up, be professional. A champion, comes back. If you're a true champion, you will act accordingly. And I didn't need to give him that speech. He was already there. So I was just like, it wasn't needed. It wasn't needed for me to tell him anything about how to act, how to be. That's who Cain Velasquez is. He's a true professional, and he's a true champion. He's a champion that will come back.
When would you like to see him fight again, and against who?
I would like to see him fight as soon as the UFC allows him to, and I would, he's got a 45-day clearance before he can do any contact. Then from there, I would love him to fight the top guys. I don't want anybody but the top guys.
And obviously you're here for Cung Le, who is making his UFC debut on Saturday night. In your opinion, what does Cung need to do to beat Wanderlei Silva? Wanderlei Silva, who obviously is coming off a very tough loss to Chris Lieben just this past July.
Well, I mean, we got to basically outpoint Wanderlei and hopefully get that chin that's been tested, and it's not there like it used to be. So hopefully, if we can manage to do that, I think we'll be very successful.
Wanderlei hinted at maybe wanting to take this fight to the ground early. Is Cung prepared to do that?
Well, is Wanderlei prepared to take Cung to the ground? It hasn't been done yet, so good luck, Wanderlei.
And how dedicated has Cung been to training MMA? He's done a lot of stuff outside of the sport, the movies. He hasn't fought in a while. How dedicated has he been to this fight? He's
been 100% focused on this fight. He put his movie career on hold again so he can pursue his dream of being the best he can be in the UFC and hopefully, challenging for the title. And this is just the first step for him. It's a huge step for him because Wanderlei is the most dangerous, most experienced fighter outside of Frank Shamrock that he's faced. So for Cung, it's an exciting time.
How many more years do you think he wants to do this for?
Well, I would think that, he was going to take one fight at a time, and see what the outcome of this one comes and then go from there. But I think if everything goes according to the way we are planning, you'll see Cung Le again.
All right, and final question, just something about AK. Notice that Dave Camarillo is not as involved as he was in the past. What happened there?
He decided that he was wanting to focus on his gyms. He's got 2 gyms now, and he couldn't devote the time needed that the team required of him to be there, so we parted ways.
So who's the new BJJ instructor at AKA?
Well, right now we have an assistant that's not really been approved by the team yet, and Raul Castillo. And Raul Castillo is a great prospect to be a great teacher, but right now it's just a prospect, you know. So for right now it's Raul Castillo, but more likely it's the team with John Fitch is taking over, and Neil Lahat, who's really good jiu-jitsu black belt. Neil, and you know, and Josh Thompson, other guys are taking over the role of working on jiu-jitsu. We got plenty of guys in there that are knowledgeable enough, but they're fighters, so we need somebody that is more devoted to teaching.
Thank you for the time. Good luck on Saturday night. Always a pleasure.
Thank you.